Africa, the cradle of humanity, holds stories that are as vast as its savannas and as deep as its rivers. These stories, passed down through generations, carry lessons that echo through time, lessons of wisdom, resilience, and caution. Welcome to Echoes of African Tales. My name is Victor, and I am your storyteller. Together, we explore the rich tapestry of African folklore, where every tale carries a piece of our heritage, woven with values and life lessons. Today, I bring you a tale that will leave you speechless, a story titled The Consequences of Misplaced Trust. This is not just a story, it's a mirror reflecting the delicate balance between trust and vigilance, a reminder that not all who smile mean well. Prepare yourself for a journey filled with intrigue, cultural depth, and a moral lesson that will linger long after the story ends. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to Echoes of African Tales. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a story that touches the heart and inspires the soul. Now, let us begin. Let us journey now to a village nestled in the heart of Africa, a place where time seems to stand still, and life unfolds in harmony with nature. This village, known as Ekulo, lies cradled between rolling hills and lush farmlands that stretch as far as the eye can see. In Ekulo, the days begin with the crowing of roosters and the soft hum of women pounding yam in wooden mortars. The air is filled with the laughter of children playing under the shade of ancient baobab trees, their carefree voices mingling with the distant rhythm of drums from the village square. Ekulo is a community bound by tradition and guided by trust, a trust so deeply ingrained that it governs every relationship, every interaction, every decision. Here, trust is not merely a virtue, it is the very fabric that weaves the lives of its people together. But what happens when that trust is misplaced? This is the story of Mama Amara, a widow whose life is a testament to resilience and generosity. Widowed young, she refused to let her loss define her. Mama Amara became a pillar of strength in Ekulo, known for her open heart and helping hands. Whether it was sharing food with the needy or comforting a grieving neighbor, her kindness knew no bounds. She was loved and respected by all. Mama Amara had a single child, a daughter named Chika. Chika was a bright and curious girl, the kind who could light up a room with her smile. At just 14, she was already showing signs of the wisdom her mother had instilled in her. Chika loved helping her mother at their small food stall in the marketplace, learning not just the art of trade but also the values of honesty and generosity. Together, they were inseparable, a mother and daughter bound by love and shared dreams. Ekulo was also home to Is, the village elder. Is was a man of few words but great wisdom, often sought for his counsel. His voice carried the weight of tradition, and his decisions were respected by all. To the people of Ekulo, Is was a living bridge between the past and the present, a custodian of their heritage. And then, there was Obiora. Obiora was a newcomer to Ekulo, arriving with little more than a kind smile and a soft-spoken manner. He was polite, helpful, and seemed eager to integrate himself into the community. He quickly earned the trust of many, including Mama Amara, who saw in him a kindred spirit. Obiora often stopped by her stall, offering to help carry goods or fetch water. He was always there with a cheerful greeting or a helpful hand. But, as they say in Ekulo, the snake that smiles in the sun may be hiding venom. Obiora's presence, though seemingly harmless, would soon set in motion a chain of events that would test the very foundations of trust in the village. In African traditions, trust is more than just a bond between individuals, it is the lifeblood of community. It is the reason a child can run freely in the village, knowing every adult is an extended parent. It is why neighbors share meals, stories, and burdens without hesitation. But trust, as pure as it may be, is also fragile. When misplaced, it can unravel leaves and leave wounds that take generations to heal. This is the story of how one act of misplaced trust changed the lives of Mama Amara and Chika forever. It is a tale of courage, betrayal, and redemption, a tale that will leave you questioning the true cost of trust. Let us now uncover how it all began. Obiora's presence in Ekulo quickly became a fixture of daily life. He was always eager to lend a hand, whether it was helping Mama Amara carry her goods to the market or fetching water from the stream. He attended village gatherings with a warm smile, offering to help elders and playing games with the children. To many, he seemed like a blessing, a man who had embraced the values of Ekulo without hesitation. Mama Amara, in particular, came to trust him deeply. She would often say, "Obiora is like the son I never had." She welcomed him into her life, even allowing him to share meals with her and Chika. To her, his kindness was a reminder that good people still existed in the world. But, as the days turned into weeks, small cracks began to appear, cracks that most overlooked but some in the village noticed. For instance, Obiora's stories about his past often seemed to change. One day, he claimed he had left his hometown in search of work. Another day, he spoke of a family tragedy that had driven him away. Yet, no one dared question him directly. After all, he was polite, respectful, and hardworking. Still, whispers began to circulate among the villagers. "Why does Obiora never mention returning to his family?" an elder once asked. Another added, "Have you noticed how he avoids certain questions about his life?" These doubts, however, were drowned out by the louder voices praising his contributions to the community. Chika, too, had grown fond of Obiora. He treated her like a younger sibling, teaching her riddles, telling her stories, and helping her with chores. At first, Mama Amara was delighted to see Chika smiling so much in his presence. She believed Obiora's friendship was a positive influence on her daughter. But Chika began to notice things that made her uneasy. Sometimes, when Obiora thought no one was watching, his cheerful demeanor would vanish, replaced by a distant, calculating expression. On one occasion, she overheard him speaking in hushed tones with a stranger at the market, a conversation that ended abruptly when he realized she was nearby. She dismissed her concerns, telling herself it was nothing, but the uneasy feeling lingered. And then, there was the incident with the money. One evening, as Mama Amara was closing her store, she realized that a small sum of money was missing. It wasn't much, just a few naira, but it was enough to cause concern. She mentioned it to Obiora, who immediately offered to help her find it. He searched the stall and even questioned nearby vendors, but the money was never recovered. "It must have been a mistake," Mama Amara said, brushing it off. Yet, Chika couldn't shake the feeling that Obiora's reaction had been too quick, too rehearsed. The villagers, too, began to notice other peculiarities. Obiora often seemed to appear at just the right moment, whether it was to offer help or overhear a conversation. "The lizard that nods in agreement does not mean well for the chicken," an elder once remarked after an encounter with Obiora. But the warning went unheard. Obiora's charm was too strong, his presence too familiar. Mama Amara, in particular, refused to entertain any doubts about him. "Obiora is family now," she would tell anyone who questioned her trust in him. To her, his help was a blessing, and she chose to ignore the small, inconsistent details that others noticed. And then, one day, Obiora made a suggestion that, on the surface, seemed harmless but would set the stage for betrayal. He approached Mama Amara with an idea. Mama, why don't you let me manage your store for a few days while you rest? You've been working so hard, and I've seen how tiring it can be. His tone was gentle, almost brotherly, and his concern seemed genuine. Mama Amara hesitated at first. You think I should rest, Obiora? Who will manage the money? Who will handle the customers? She asked. But Obiora was ready with answers. Mama, you've taught me everything about the store. I can do it just as you would. Trust me. His words were like honey, sweet and persuasive. After some deliberation, Mama Amara agreed. Just for a few days, she said. I use the time to catch up on household chores and spend time with Chika. The first day passed without incident. Obiora manned the stall efficiently, handling customers with ease and even bringing in a little more profit than usual. Mama Amara praised him endlessly, feeling grateful for his help. But Chika noticed something strange that evening. Obiora had returned home later than expected, and he seemed unusually quiet, avoiding eye contact when she asked him how the day had gone. The second day was different. When Mama Amara visited the store to check on things, she noticed that some of her goods seemed to be missing. It must be my imagination, she thought. After all, Obiora had always been so diligent. She dismissed the thought and returned home, reassuring herself that everything was fine. But Chika remained skeptical. Mama, she said cautiously, don't you think it's strange that Obiora is so eager to manage the store? Mama Amara laughed off her daughter's concerns. You worry too much, Chika. Obiora is a good man. He has done so much for us. Chika wanted to argue but held her tongue, not wanting to upset her mother. Deep down, she couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. On the third day, the truth began to unravel. Mama Amara decided to visit the stall unannounced. She arrived just in time to see Obiora handing over a small sack of goods to a man she didn't recognize. The man glanced around nervously before disappearing into the crowd. Obiora. Mama Amara called out, her voice sharp. Startled, he turned to face her, his expression momentarily panicked before he quickly masked it with a smile. Mama, you're here early, he said, his tone calm but his eyes betraying a flicker of unease. Who was that man? She demanded. Obiora hesitated for a moment too long. Oh, just a customer, he replied. But Mama Amara wasn't convinced. She stepped closer, her eyes scanning the store. More goods were missing than she had initially noticed. Why didn't you record this sale? She asked, pointing to the ledger. Obiora stammered, I must have forgotten. The excuse sounded hollow, and for the first time, Mama Amara felt the weight of doubt pressing heavily on her heart. The next morning, whispers spread through the village. A few villagers had seen Obiora meeting with strangers late at night near the market. They say he's been selling Mama Amara's goods on the side, one person whispered. And he's keeping the money for himself, another added. By midday, the rumors had reached Mama Amara's ears. Her heart sank. Could it be true? Had she been so blind? Chika, meanwhile, had been quietly piecing things together. She remembered the inconsistencies in Obiora's stories, the missing money, and his strange behavior. Mama, she said softly, I think we need to confront him. Mama Amara, though heartbroken, knew her daughter was right. That evening, she sat Obiora down. Obiora, she began, her voice trembling, I need you to tell me the truth. Have you been taken from me? Obiora's reaction was immediate. He denied everything, his voice rising in indignation. "How can you accuse me of such a thing, Mama? After all I've done for you." But the more he protested, the less convincing he sounded. Mama Amara's doubts solidified into certainty. "Obiora," she said firmly, "the truth will come out. It always does." At that moment, she realized the extent of her misplaced trust, and the betrayal cut deeper than she could have imagined. In Ekulo, they say, the lizard that nods in agreement does not mean well for the chicken. Mama Amara had ignored the signs, placing her faith in someone unworthy of it. Now, she would have to face the consequences of that trust. But this was only the beginning of what was to come. The true cost of Obiora's betrayal had yet to reveal itself, and the village of Ekulo would soon learn a lesson they would never forget. Are you enjoying this tale? If so, don't forget to hit the like button and share this video with friends who love African stories as much as you do. Stay tuned, as the story of Ekulo is far from over. The rains had come early that year to Ekulo, and with them a sense of unease seemed to settle over the village. The sky, heavy with storm clouds, mirrored the growing tension among the people. Mama Amara, once the epitome of strength and resilience, now moved with a weight in her heart. Whispers had become too loud to ignore, and the truth she had tried to suppress was now staring her in the face. It was on a particularly stormy evening that the betrayal was fully revealed. Mama Amara, determined to put an end to the doubts, decided to review the ledger where Obiora was supposed to record all sales and expenses from the store. Sitting by the flickering light of an oil lamp, she flipped through the pages. The entries were sparse, disjointed, and riddled with inconsistencies. The goods she had trusted Obiora to sell were missing without explanation, and the money that should have been there was gone. Her hands trembled as she realized the enormity of the betrayal. My savings, she whispered to herself. These were not just coins and notes, this was her future, Chika's future, stolen by the very person she had taken under her wing. The betrayal wasn't just financial, it was deeply personal. The man she had welcomed as family had repaid her kindness with deceit. When Mama Amara confronted Obiora the next day, her voice carried the weight of her heartbreak. "Obiora," she said, her tone steady but filled with sorrow, "I trusted you with everything. How could you do this to me? To us?" Obiora, caught off guard, tried to deny it at first. "Mama, I don't know what you're talking about," he stammered, avoiding her piercing gaze. But the evidence was undeniable. The missing goods, the unaccounted money, the whispered accusations from the villagers, it all painted a damning picture. Realizing he could no longer deny the truth, Obiora changed his approach. "I only took what I needed, Mama," he said, his voice low. "You have so much, and I had nothing." The words were like daggers to her heart. This wasn't an apology, it was a justification, a twisting of her generosity into something self-serving. Mama Amara's sorrow turned to anger. "You had my trust," she said, her voice rising. "And in Ekulo, trust is worth more than gold. Do you not understand what you've done?" Word spread quickly through the village. By evening, a crowd had gathered outside Mama Amara's home. Elders, neighbors, and friends all came, each with their own anger, disbelief, and sadness. The village elder stepped forward, his voice cutting through the stormy night. "Obiora," he began, "you have betrayed not just Mama Amara, but all of Ekulo. In our land, trust is sacred. It is the thread that holds us together. And when that thread is broken, it unravels the very fabric of our community. Obiora, cornered and unable to escape the collective judgment, fell silent. His charm, which had once won over so many, now felt hollow in the face of the truth. The villagers demanded justice, their voices rising in unison. He must repay what he has taken, one shouted. He must leave Ekulo, another added. The air was thick with anger, but beneath it all was a deeper wound, the pain of misplaced trust. For Mama Amara, the betrayal was more than financial ruin. It was a blow to her faith in people, a shattering of the belief that kindness would always be met with kindness in return. Chika, standing by her mother's side, felt the weight of it too. She had seen the signs, but she had been too young, too unsure to act. Now, she could only watch as her mother bore the brunt of the fallout. In the land of trust, even a shadow has weight. This saying, often spoken by the elders of Ekulo, now echoed through the minds of all who stood there that night. Trust, they realized, is both a gift and a responsibility. When given to the wrong person, its loss can shake the foundation of an entire community. The villagers, led by Is, decided on a course of action. Obiora would not only be required to repay what he had stolen, but also leave the village. You cannot stay in a place where your name carries the stain of betrayal, is declared. Go, and may you carry the lesson of this day with you wherever you go. As Obiora gathered his belongings and prepared to leave, the storm outside seemed to intensify, as if nature itself mourned the broken trust that had once bound him to the people of Ekulo. Mama Amara, though devastated, stood tall. She had lost much, but she still had Chika, and with time, she knew they would rebuild. But the scars of betrayal would remain a reminder of the cost of misplaced trust. Trust is a fragile thing, as this tale has shown us. It is the foundation of relationships, communities, and even nations. But when placed in the wrong hands, it can lead to pain, loss, and the unraveling of what we hold dear. In Ekulo, they learned a hard lesson. Trust must be given wisely, for not all who smile mean well. The storm that had hung heavy over Ekulo finally passed, leaving behind a village shaken but united. The morning air carried a sense of renewal, though the wounds of betrayal were still fresh. The villagers, who had once whispered about Mama Amara's misfortune, now rallied around her. They came with baskets of food, offers to help at her store, and words of comfort that reminded her she was not alone. The bonds of community, though strained, had not been broken. Mama Amara, though deeply hurt, began the slow journey of rebuilding her life. With Chika by her side, she returned to the market, determined to rise from the ashes of her loss. Each day was a testament to her resilience. The villagers, inspired by her strength, made it a point to support her business. Mama Amara, they would say, you have given so much to this community. Now it is our turn to give back to you. Their words and actions became a balm for her wounded heart. But the lessons of Obiora's betrayal lingered in her mind. She reflected on how easily she had opened her heart and home to him, mistaking charm for character. Trust is earned, not blindly given, she often told herself. It was a hard lesson, but one she vowed never to forget. Mama Amara understood now that trust, like a seed, must be nurtured carefully and watched over with vigilance. Chika, too, had grown wiser through the ordeal. She watched her mother rebuild with quiet determination and learned the value of discernment. Together, they promised to guard their hearts more carefully, not out of bitterness, but out of wisdom. In life, Mama Amara told Chika one evening, it is better to have open eyes than to follow blindly. Never let a kind word blind you to a person's true intentions. As for Ekulo, the villagers took the events as a reminder of their shared responsibility to uphold the values of trust and integrity. Elders like his began speaking more openly about the importance of accountability, teaching the younger generation that trust is both a gift and a burden. In our land, Is would say, trust is the foundation of everything. To break it is to break the very essence of who we are. Over time, the pain of betrayal gave way to a renewed sense of unity in Ekulo. Mama Amara's story became a cautionary tale, shared during moonlit gatherings as a reminder to always balance kindness with caution. And though the scars remained, they served as a symbol of strength, proof that even in the face of great loss, life could be rebuilt. In the end, Mama Amara's journey was one of resilience, wisdom, and the unyielding power of community. She may have lost much, but she gained a deeper understanding of life, a life where trust is cherished but given with care, and where even the deepest wounds can heal with time and support. In Ekulo, they say, the heart that learns from pain grows stronger than the one that never knew hurt. And so, Mama Amara's story became not just a tale of betrayal, but a lesson in courage, wisdom, and the enduring strength of the human spirit. In the quiet moments that followed the storm, the village of Ekulo found itself reflecting on the tale of Mama Amara and Obiora, a story that left an indelible mark on every heart. This tale, though painful, reminds us of a fundamental truth: trust is a gift, but vigilance is its guardian. It is a delicate thread, weaving together the fabric of our relationships and communities. When that thread is placed in unworthy hands, it unravels, leaving behind heartbreak and lessons that cannot be ignored. Mama Amara's journey is a testament to resilience, a reminder that even in the face of betrayal, wisdom can help us rebuild. Her strength, supported by the love of her community, showed us that while misplaced trust can wound deeply, it also offers the opportunity for growth and reflection. Stories like these are not merely entertainment, they are the lifeblood of our traditions. In African cultures, tales are guiding lights, passed down through generations to teach us how to navigate life's complexities. They carry the wisdom of our ancestors, teaching us the values of trust, discernment, and community. When elders tell such stories by the glow of a fire or under the shade of a tree, they are not just recounting events, they are preserving the heartbeat of our heritage. In the tale of Mama Amara, we see echoes of our own lives. We have all, at some point, placed our trust in someone or something, only to learn that not all intentions are pure. And yet, these moments of heartbreak are not without purpose. They push us to question, to learn, and to grow. They remind us that trust must be earned, that vigilance is not the absence of faith, but the wisdom to protect it. Let me ask you, dear listener, have you ever faced a situation where misplaced trust led to valuable lessons? Perhaps it was a friend who let you down, or a decision made in good faith that took an unexpected turn. How did it shape you? What did it teach you about trust and resilience? I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below, for in sharing, we continue the tradition of learning from one another's experiences. Let us carry forward the wisdom of this tale. Let us remember that trust is a precious gift, one that should be given with care and nurtured with accountability. And let us never forget the strength of community, the power of resilience, and the enduring spirit that allows us to rise above even the deepest betrayals. In the words of our ancestors, a tree that falls from neglect teaches the forest to stand stronger. Let us stand stronger, together, guided by the lessons of our stories and the wisdom of our heritage. If you found this story meaningful, take a moment to like this video and share it with someone who values the richness of African traditions. And if you haven't already, join our community by subscribing to Echoes of African Tales. Your support helps us preserve and share these timeless stories with the world. Together, let us keep the echoes of our heritage alive.